Right, guys, so welcome to episode 1 of the Wayne Marshall podcast. Now, I want to kick things off with something that's massively important, especially in relation to what's going on externally with this whole coronavirus bullshit. Uh, a lot of people, myself included, have felt the effects of feeling a little bit less motivated, a little bit bored, a little bit lethargic, a little bit like, what the fuck am I meant to do today? Do you know what I mean? And the whole purpose of this is how do you get and stay motivated? Now, I'll be completely transparent with you guys. As contradicting as this will sound, I genuinely believe motivation is bullshit. Um, the amount of times in my life where I've felt really, really motivated, and then the amount of times in my life where I've felt very, very demotivated, it's almost 50-50. It coincides. I genuinely believe that we all, as individuals, we have different bouts, different seasons, where we're meant to be where we will be very motivated, and we'll have bouts, or we'll have, I like to call them seasons, because it's cyclical. Do you know what I mean? It's up here, and then it'll come back round, and it'll come back round in seasons. You can probably think back to the time in your life when you were very motivated, you were going to the gym every day, you were eating really good, you were drinking these green drinks, you were doing yoga, you were whatever the fuck it is, doesn't matter. But then there'll probably be another time when you were very demotivated. Maybe that's now. I don't know. And then it's like, why? I'm still the same person. I've still got the same things going on around me. Why am I not feeling motivated? I think the first thing you've got to appreciate as well is that, again, like I mentioned before, it comes in seasons. Do you know what I mean? You probably, if you look back at the time when you were very, very motivated, there was probably a lot of different circumstances and things that were going on in your life at that point that made you driven and made you motivated at that point compared to now. Maybe things are a little bit more relaxed. Maybe you've, I don't know, maybe you're getting bored. I don't know what it is. But I think the first thing you've got to appreciate is that motivation it's an internal feeling. It's not it can be caused by external things. You can put on some really good music and then you can feel motivated in the moment. But motivation really comes, if you want to motivate yourself, you can do it internally just by seeing what motivates you. I think a lot of people, they look for external motivation. But again, that's leading me down the road to what I want to talk about next as well, which is discipline. The reason why I've highlighted how do you get and stay motivated, and I've put it in quotation points, is because, again, motivation's bullshit. How do you get and stay disciplined? Uh, in my experience, the best way to stay disciplined and stay consistent and keep working towards what it is that you're aiming towards is you've got to have big, big goals. Now, there's two ways of looking at this, because I'm gonna share my experience. I'm gonna share what I think works best. You can either set small, trivial goals that with a little bit of effort you could achieve. So, for example, I could get a client who comes into me and says, "Okay, Wayne, right, I want to lose a stone. I want to lose a stone in the next month." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, yeah." Right, month 2 then, what are we aiming towards? What's the focus? And they're like, huh? Month 2? I didn't think that far ahead. And I'm like, exactly. There's my case in point. As soon as I get someone who comes in for a consultation with me like that, I know straight away that either A, they're gonna not do very, very well in terms of doing what I asked them to do and what I need them to follow, or B, they literally just they could not know what they actually want. It could be one or the two. But 9 times out of 10, the people that don't have any clear goal of what their outcome is, especially long term, tend to do shit, and that's just the God's honest truth. And I'll have some clients in with me who will. Perfect example. This was the very, very first client that I ever had when I started in Pure Gym. Her name was Geraldine. Geraldine was in her late 60s. Lovely, lovely woman. She used to be a history teacher. But Geraldine came into me with the goal of, Wayne, I need help with my breathing. And I was like, okay, explain a little bit more about what you mean. She basically said, if I walk up a flight of stairs in the house, I'm exhausted. I'm out of breath. Uh, and I always remember, I was like, okay, right, let's just say at the end of 30 days, what's the outcome? And straight away, without me even I did not put any words in her mouth. She went, I want to be able to walk up the, I forget the name of it, the cathedral stairs. Not the big cathedral. Oh, what's it called? It's the wigwam one, I think they call it. It's like the smaller one, the white building. She said, I just want to be able to, not walk, sorry. She wanted to be able to run up the stairs and not be out of breath when she reached the top. Now, I remember that I'll put a picture on the screen as well and show you. Even though it looks like there's quite a few steps, there's really not. It probably, long story short, it probably took us about 10 seconds to actually get to the top when we eventually done it in 30 days. Um, Now, I remember Geraldine was very religious. I'm not religious at all. I'm very spiritual, but I'm not religious in the slightest. Although I do believe there's many truths to religion and some individual religions. Uh, I don't really want to touch upon that today. But yeah, Jo was very religious and she offered to take me round the cathedral, and then she wanted to take me to the bigger one uh, with the tall stairs as well. And that was her next goal. Immediately when we were in the consultation, and she said, okay, for month 1, I want to be able to run up this flight of stairs without getting out of breath. We got to the top of the stairs and we were like, is that it? Do you know what I mean? Like, and she was like, no, but that's what I mean, Wayne. Right, on to the next goal. By the end of 60 days, I want to be able to get to the top of the other cathedral and not be out of breath, not feel exhausted. So I was like, okay, how do you want to feel? I want to feel great. I want to feel relaxed. I want to feel, you know, like I can breathe like a normal person when she gets to the top. And then by the end of 90 days, now I actually can't remember the 90-day goal because Geraldine, by herself, she had a lot of personal problems and we stopped the training after the 60 days. She had a lot of things going on in her life at that point, and we just couldn't continue training, which was very, very sad to see. Nothing to do with the training, but just going on in her personal life circumstances. I can't remember the 90-day goal. I'd love to dig it out and find it, but I remember it was something along the lines of we were meant to be doing. It was definitely a walk. I can't remember where or what it was, but I know it was definitely a long walk of some kind. But anyway, case in point is this woman was very, very determined. She turned up to every session with a perfect attitude. She knew her outcome, she knew her goal, versus the person who comes in and just says, "Oh, I just want to lose. I just want to lose a stone." Oh, really? Oh, okay, cool. Why you going away, or what's motivating you right now? And they'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I just want to lose a little bit of weight. Okay, but why are you doing this now then, and not 6 months ago? Why are you doing this now? Why are you motivated now? I don't know. Just is what it is. And I see people like this all the time, and I'll be honest, I won't train them. I'm very fortunate to be at a point and a place in my life where the people that come to train with me they want to train, they want to get results. Last thing I want to do is have someone pay me to talk to me for an hour, genuinely, because it bore the fucking daylights out of me after a while. And I love everyone that I meet and all the clients I've got right now all work their asses off and they're all committed and they all have very, very clear goals. So that's step number 1 is figuring out your goals. Uh, but as well as I mentioned before, as well, I'm looping back. Do I set big extravagant goals or do I set small, mediocre, realistic goals? In my experience, what I've noticed that works for me is the bigger the goals I set, the more excited I can get about a goal, the more that motivates me. Do you know what I mean? Like for example, in terms of my business, I have so many huge fucking goals that it literally take me a lifetime to achieve. Like I'm thinking that far ahead. Whereas, you could just get your average business owner or your average shop owner or whatever and say, right, what's the goal in 5 years' time? And they're like, huh? Whereas I could tell you where I want my business to be. That doesn't mean it will be, but it's where I want it to be in 5 years. And there'll be big, big goals. Now, I understand that with some people, this could demotivate them. Absolutely. And I get why. And it used to demotivate me. And I think the biggest thing, what you've got to do is start small and work your way up. I actually found one of my old journals and I was looking through it before. And I'll even take a picture of it and I'll put it on the screen and I'll put the date on there as well. I think it was 2018. I can't remember what exact date it was, but it was definitely 2018. And it was just when I started working as a personal trainer, and my goal, as flimsy as it sounds, just because I had no experience, I wasn't very confident in that area, it was to literally make £1,000 a month. Now I know some of you are probably thinking, what, £1,000? And I'm like, that was my belief level 2 years ago when I had no experience in terms of training people. I didn't know if I'll be any good at it. I didn't know if I'll be able to get them results. And because I didn't know that resistance really made me struggle with the confidence in being able to not even convince people, but tell people I'm a PT, I can help you. But at that point, that was my goal. So as you can see, if from that point of view, I started small and I've worked my way up to where I am now, where I'm setting these huge goals and I'm hitting them and stuff like that as well. So it's amazing. But if I were to set a small goal now, just based on what I've been able to achieve, it doesn't excite me. And if it does, when I get the goal, it doesn't excite me for very long. So my advice to you would be to start small, build up that initial momentum, build up your self-esteem, build up your confidence, and then when you get that ball rolling, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But again, some people don't need that. You could say that external validation of, you know, uh, you need to see something to kind of believe it. Whereas some people, like for example, some people could easily set a goal and say, oh, "Okay, I want to make." I'm just gonna say like a big goal now. Let's just say a PT comes in and goes, "Oh yeah, I want to make £5 a month," and they're like, "Okay, cool," and you know they will. But then you could sit down with another coach or whoever, it doesn't matter what business you're in, and be like, "Oh yeah, I want to make this sum a month," and then they'd be like, "Are you ridiculous? How the fuck am I gonna do that?" But again, you've got to figure out what motivates you. Now, I've started on one end of the spectrum, and I've come out the other to the point where it's big goals that motivate me. And I'll be honest, if you're in that place where you're not too confident for me, it was execution. I wasn't confident in my ability to execute and take enough action to get the results that I wanted in the beginning. Now, looking back in hindsight, knowing what I know now, would I have set bigger goals? 100%. And I think everyone's going to tell you the same thing. You should always set big goals. You should always, set goals that really excite you. Not just small, realistic goals, even though they are important. You need small, immediate goals. But in terms of goals that really excite you want some big goals. And I think that's another real big key distinction in terms of staying motivated, but also, as I mentioned before, staying disciplined. So writing and setting goals is a big one. Last point on how to get and stay motivated or disciplined is knowing as corny as it sounds, you probably heard it before, but knowing your why. Now, if I said to you, let's just say for example, you know, I just grabbed someone off the street and I said, okay, I'm saying grab someone off the street. Let's just say I grab like a coach or something. That's probably a better example. Let's say I grab a coach and I say, okay, what's the reason why you're doing this? Most most people will give you this answer. Oh, I wanna help people. Oh, okay, cool. Why? Um, I feel good when I help people. I don't know. I enjoy it. I get to work for me. I get to help people, and yeah, that's good for me. How long? Now, if someone gives you an answer like that, which is absolutely fine, obviously we all want to help people. But in terms of why are you doing what you're doing, like that question, why are you doing what you're doing? If it doesn't get people excited, if it doesn't get yourself excited when you're talking about it, it's a waste of time and it won't last very long. For example, with my goals, like I mentioned before, where it could take me literally a lifetime to achieve them, the goals that I've set, they excite me and I know for a fact that they would make a fucking huge difference. Not just in my life, because you can only fill yourself up so much, but they'd make such a fucking impact and a difference in other people's lives. And that fills me up more than anything. Honest to God, more than anything, I love seeing people being who they are meant to be. I love seeing people own themselves and take control of themselves and not let the external infiltrate the internal. Do you know what I mean? That honestly, that's what juices me, and I love seeing people being who they are. Uh, you know that's just that's one of my whys. But if again, you've got to have a lot of why am I doing this? What is the reason for why I'm doing this? What's you know what do I want to leave behind? What impact do I want to have on other people's lives? What impact do I want on my family's life, my friends? What do I want my life to mean? You've got to ask yourself these questions in terms of again, if your goal, I know some of you probably listen to this right now, like, fucking hell, take it easy way, and I only want to lose a little bit of weight or stay fit or feel a little bit better. But the reason why I'm getting very, very deep into the whole why aspect is because that's what's going to motivate you when you really, really have your back up against the ropes and you can't be asked. Why is it? I've always wondered, like, why is that some people who can go through absolute pain, have the worst, seemingly from the outside anyway, have the worst circumstances, yet they become some of the most contributing people of society and the people that do the most and the people that are the most loving, the most caring, some of the best leaders. And then you can get someone who's literally being given everything, and the in and out of rehab, they're on drugs every weekend, they're drinking, the life's a mess, even though externally it looks like it's great, but internally they're deteriorating. What is that difference? What makes that difference? What creates that hunger in people? And I think that's the biggest quality that separates not only people who are motivated, the disciplined from the non-disciplined. It's that internal hunger again. External circumstances can influence it, but I genuinely believe it's my conviction that that internal hunger is what's going to really get you through a lot of shit. And especially in the times we're in now, many people, I'm self-employed, I'm currently not working. I know a lot. You could either sit and you could complain, and you could be like, "Oh my god, the injustice! Why is this happening to me? Why is everyone? Why is what? Why can't I work? Why can't I see my friends?" It's just like, right, we just have to literally take it one day at a time and realize we're all in this together as well. In terms of what's going on now, we're all in this together. Bitching and moaning won't do absolutely fuck all. Neither will being extremely positive, which I don't believe in. I don't advocate being extremely positive, but I do advocate uh, being truthful. You know, just be honest. See things as they are, not worse than they are. But then what a true leader would do as well is they'd make things better than they are. But guys, that is my. I didn't realize that was 20 minutes long there. Wow. But guys, that is my first episode on how to get and stay in quotation points motivated. Uh, I hope that helps. As I say, in order, write some goals, make them big, and get excited about them. Point two. Uh, Point two. My bad. Fucking finger was leaking then. Pen was leaking. Point two. You want to